verses and then speak on that. Not going to give a summary of the verses, but on that subject. O mine, I grasp your feet and beg you with sweet words. Please cast away all hypocrisy and develop intense, unprecedented love for my spiritual master. Vrajabhumi, the people of Vraj, the Vaishnavas, the Brahmanas, the Gayatri Mantra, the holy name, and the transcendental shelter that is the fresh young couple of Vraj, Radha and Krishna. O mind, don't concern yourself with the pious and impious deeds described in the Vedas. Rather, intently serve Sri Radha, Krishna, and Vraj. Always remember that Lord Chaitanya is the son of Maharaj Nanda, and that my Guru is most dear to Lord Mukunda. O mind, just listen to me. If you desire to reside in Vraj, birth after birth, and if you desire to directly serve the divine youthful couple, there with great attraction, then with intense love, always remember and bow down to Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, to Srila Rupa Goswami and his elder brother, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and to all their associates and followers. O mind, give up friendship with non-devotees, which is nothing but a prostitute who will steal the treasure of your heart. Your desire to serve Radha Krishna, don't listen to talks of impersonal liberation, which are a tigress who devours everything. You should even give up attraction for Lord Narayan, which leads to the world of Vaikunth. Instead, O mind, just worship Sri Radha Krishna. Radha, Krishna and Braj, for they bestow upon their worshippers the jewel of pure love for themselves. The high man of lust and his friends have bound me around the neck with painful, horrible powerful ropes of many wicked deeds. O mind, please scream out to the devotees of Krishna, the killer of Baka, I am being killed, then he will save me. O mind, why do you burn us both by bathing in the urine trickling from the ass of great deviousness and hypocrisy? Instead, you should delight us by eternally bathing in the glistening nectar ocean of pure love for Shri Gandharvika Gandharva Giridhari Shri Radha Krishna. As long as the impudent, untouchable woman of the desire for fame dances in my heart, why should pure love for Radha Krishna touch me? O mind, continuously serve my spiritual master, the leader of those who are dear to the Lord. Then my master will quickly kick out the Hare and allow that pure love to enter, so that he will mercifully smash my wickedness, even though I am a great rascal, so that he will give me the splendid nectar of transcendental love, and so he will engage me in Radha's service. Please, O mind, with words choked with emotion, worship Lord Giridhari here in Vraja. O mind, please meditate on Krishna, the moon of Vraj forest, as the Lord of my controller, Srimati Radharani. And please meditate upon Srimati Radharani, the queen of Vraj forest, as Krishna's controller. Also, please meditate upon Lalita as the peerless friend of Radha and Krishna, Vishakha as the guru who teaches them many things, and Radha Kund and Govardhan Hill as two places, the mere side of which bestows charming transcendental love for the divine couple. O mind, please worship Lord Hari's beloved Radha. With the splendor of her beauty, she makes Rati, Gauri, and Leela burn with envy. With the power of her good fortune, she defeats Sachi, Lakshmi, and Satyabhama. And with her ability to control Krishna, she completely eclipses Chandravali and the other pious young girls of Raj. O mind, in order to attain the direct service of the two divine lovers, Sri Radha Giridhari, In the company of their friends, every day you must constantly drink. With Sri Rupa Goswami, the five nectars of worshipping them, chanting their names, meditating on them, hearing about them, and bowing down before them. And every day you must worship Govardhan Hill. These 11 excellent instructions to the mind grant all spiritual benedictions. A person who stays with devotees, follows Srila Rupa Goswami, and with a sweet voice loudly sings these 11 verses, will attain the matchless jewel of direct service to Sri Radha Krishna in the forest of Gokul. Now this is the Mana Shiksha Raghunath Das Goswami wrote for himself. Who is Raghunath Das Goswami? He is a pure devotee. He met Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the age of 15 in Jagannath Puri. He got direct instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the age of 15. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at the end of his visit, gave him Giriraj Shila and gave him Gunjamala. Because he said Giriraj should always have Gunjamala on him. Now, this Raghunath Das Goswami, who had darshan and association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and direct instructions from him, he is saying this to his mind. That, oh my wicked mind, don't do this and don't do that I just read. Then who are we? He is a Siddha Purusha, pure devotee. When you read this, it makes you think how fallen we are. Now, saying this, reading this, the mind, he's asking the mind to focus on the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna, chant the holy name, give association of devotees, all that. We are doing all that, aren't we? I think all of us here sitting are chanting the holy name, worshipping the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna, maybe not directly, serving on the altar, but indirectly by many different ways. I was listening to my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Vedyaspriya Goswami, Swami Maharaj. He gave a class in Silvassa, India, recently. And he said the reason we are not able to focus on the holy name, chanting of the holy name, and everything else that's described in the 11 verses is because, first of all, he says most of us don't listen carefully and with attention. Sometimes it doesn't even go through the ear. Sometimes it goes through the ear, goes out the other ear. Because we are not focused. I said the reason we are not focused is because there are 5 different avarans or filters in front of, in between us and Krishna. Holy name is personification of Krishna. They're not different. So when you have 5, 6 actually, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad and Matsarya. So when these are the 6 enemies, when they are intact in your heart, and your mind is so used to worshipping them, for how many lifetimes? Not this lifetime. It won't be that bad, because then you can rehabilitate yourself. 8.4 million lifetimes. The conditioning is so strong and so deep, it's very difficult to undo that. He said, don't use that excuse, oh, sorry, it's hard, we are conditioned, we can't do that. Because he says, Srila Prabhupada said, I may not be perfect. We all know he's perfect, but Srila Prabhupada is very humble. He said, I may not be perfect, but the process I follow is perfect. I guarantee you, if you follow that sincerely, step by step, with focus, and after doing anartha nivrittis, the 6th one that I just mentioned, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad and Matsarya. Kam is the desires, the lust. Lust doesn't mean just physical or sexual desire. Calm also means any desire for material sense gratification. We said when you are frustrated and your desires are not fulfilled, what happens? You get angry. So Krodh comes. And in that order, he said, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, and Matsarya, not in any other order. So when your desires are not fulfilled, you get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, you get angry. When you get angry, what happens? Attachment, more, lobh. You get more greedy, more frustrated to fulfill your desires that you are not able to, or you fail to do so. And then more comes, more attachment. You may become more desperate. When you can't get something, you want it so badly that you keep trying. Atyahar is called atyahar. Overeating and endeavoring for things that are hard to achieve. So Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, now Mad. When sometimes we do succeed, depending your karmas and your sanskar and your pious activities, you do succeed in material life. What happens then? We get little puffed up. And we start thinking, I'm well situated. He said, nobody in the material world is well situated. So Lobh, Moh, Mad. Mad is ahankar, ego. Matsarya. And when you get ego, whether you succeed or you fail, you start to get envious of other people who you think are doing well. Actually, Srila Prabhupada said nobody is situated well in the material world. Everybody is struggling. And so they impersonally said that Jagat Mithya, this material world is Mithya. Only the absolute truth is real. Srila Prabhupada says, no, that's not true. This material world is very real as long as you use it in the service of Krishna. The minute you start to use it for your sense gratification, it is avidya or ignorance. So now how do you go about doing all this? We all know, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad and Matsarya are 6 problems we have. And they are so ingrained in our consciousness, the deep core of our consciousness. Not the blood pumping heart, the inner conscience. How do you go about doing this? Chanting, but then we are having problem, right? He said, he's telling his mind to chant the holy name, to serve the devotees, be in the association, serve the lotus with Radha and Krishna. But my mind is wretched. Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, so we have no hope. Basically, when I read that, I said, I absolutely have no hope. So, okay, how do you do that? Is that when Krishna went to Sandipani Muni's ashram, as we all know, after he went to Mathura, killed Kans, re-established Maharaja Ugrasen on the throne of Mathura, got Devaki and Vasudeva out of the jail and started living, set them all nicely. Now his parents say, well, you have to go to school now, because in Vrindavan you did childhood pastimes, raise the cows, here you did this, all your work is done, you have to go to school now. So he went to school, Sandipani Muni's ashram. Sandipani Muni's ashram he went, and guess what happened? He learned all 64 skills, arts, everything that is to be known in 64 days. So at the end of that, both his brother Balram and Krishna both were sent. At the end of the 64 days, it's time to graduate. He graduated. Sandipani Muni said, this is amazing. These two are unbelievable. So you have graduated, you're done. So it's time to give what? Guru Dakshina. So Krishna says, okay, so what would you like for Guru Dakshina? You've given us this knowledge. And we are so grateful. You're our Guru. So Sandipani Muni is Krishna's Guru. He is not an ordinary personality. He is saying this person, he is Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar is one who listens once and remembers everything. No, nothing to repeat, nothing to study. I said, he is Shrutidhar, he is not ordinary. So he knows everything. So he looks at his wife and he says, we are grahasthas. Our son is killed. Panchajanya lived under the ocean, deep ocean. It was a conch shell. And their son was taken there. So he said, bring him back. So Krishna is not only a supreme person of Godhead, he's very humble. He could have just said, okay, just like that, he would have been there. He said, I got to go. I got to go my Guru's son back. At that point, my Guru Maharaj mentioned, he says, Guru Dakshina, you have to give Guru Dakshina according to your samarthya. Not take out some money from your pocket and give it to Guru. That's not all Guru comes for. If he can depart you all the knowledge and if he has renounced everything, he is not interested in there. Samarthya, according to your ability, your capacity, full capacity, with all your mind, body, and words, you have to serve your Guru. Don't hold back. Can't take a day off. Can't do this. Can't do that. Can't come to the class early in the morning. He said, we ask people, disciples to come for Mangal Arati and they can't do that. So anyway, the long story short, Krishna goes to the ocean and he said, the god of ocean comes out and says, how can I serve you, my lord? He said, you have my Guru's son. I came here to claim him. He said, well, I don't know anything about it. So yes, you do. There is a demon who is hiding in Panchajanya's trunk and he is holding him there. Bring him back. So anyway, he went down. The Devta went down in the deep ocean, got his Sandipani Muni's son back. He comes back and he gives his Guru his son back and they're done and back to his, then he, as we all know, Dwarka came, the Dwarkadish, he became Dwarkadish, built, he told Vishwakarma to build Dwarka, made of gold, pure gold, and did his Dwarkadish pastime and we all know that and wrapped up that. Sandipani Muni also became, in Chaitanya Lila, he came as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was impersonalist. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was impersonalist. Sandipani, Lord Chaitanya encouraged him to, speak. He said, I don't want to know. You have a lot of knowledge, I've heard. So please tell me. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told him. And then slowly, Lord Chaitanya tricked him. He said, this is not right, this is not right, because he was impersonal. And finally made him turn around and made him a devotee. Now, we all are thinking, well, Krishna is Shrutidhar because he's Krishna. He can remember everything, no big deal, right? But how can we compare ourselves to that? Can't compare ourselves to Krishna. Qualitatively, we have all the qualities Krishna has. Although it's in a minute scale, we do have that. But he said, if you become Shrutidhar while you are listening to your Guru's instructions, Shrutidhar when you are listening to Krishna's pastime, and when you become focused and become Shrutidhar, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. These three things. You have to become Shrutidhar, very focused. Then you can do that too, he said. Definitely, you can control your mind in 64 days. But you have to train your mind. And this is what it's all about. Manas Siksha. Now he said, don't make the excuse, oh, Krishna was Krishna and he is Shrutidhar, he learned. He said, there was a devotee in Vrindavan. My Guru Maharaj met him. She says, it's not a story I heard. This devotee had absolutely no formal education. What we call in Hindi unpad or uneducated person. Illiterate completely. He said that person, he was associating with the Vrajavasis and the pure devotees, and he was so focused. He said he became Shrutidhar. He can recite any. Rupa Goswami's Padyavali, this for Raghunath Das Swami's this, that, Goswami's, everything. He hears it once, he can recite it. No question, no mistake there. He said there were big stalwarts were going there. So they couldn't figure out. He said, this person absolutely has no schooling. So you could become Shrutidhar. So there is no excuse to use. Now, a very simple example. Recently we had Gita Jayanti celebration in December. We all know this height. Children from age 5 to up to 12, I believe. They were reciting the verses of Gita. They were focused. At that age, if they are so focused, and they can do that when they grow up, they can do wonders. I have seen videos of children. I think he was barely 9 years old, at the most 10. He's sitting there, no book in front of him, nothing, no teleprompter, and he gave class on Bhagavad Gita. He's reciting all the verses, reciting very clearly, very eloquently. A 10 years old kid didn't have much time compared to, I'm almost 70. Didn't have much time to study anything or do all this. But he was focused. He had the right association. His parents, the devotees they associate with, they go to the temple, the congregation members. I'm talking about iskcon devotee. And he was so confident sitting there and nothing, no fidgeting, nothing. He just spoke, and you can tell he was so confident what he spoke. So this is Kali and you can become Shrutidhar. So he said, stop making the excuses of my mind, I beg you. And reading this, if Raghunath Das Swami can sing that, I think we should. We should realize that we do have some of us, I shouldn't say all of you, but a lot of you are very focused and good sadhana. I definitely do have that problem. Then I was thinking, how do we do this? Because every time you want to sit down to chant, you remember grocery list, you remember to clean the fridge, and you may not clean it after 6 months once you finish chanting, we forget everything. I think I should, what am I going to make? What sabji I'm going to make? Why should it be a big problem? Cooking for how many, 50 years? After I finish chanting, all that goes away. The fridge remains dirty, the house doesn't get clean, but only when you sit down to chant. So then I thought, I think I'm getting to age, I have to figure something out. So then I said, let me have a press conference with my mind. President of the United States, his spokesman, what does he do? He gives a press conference every day. So there are a whole a whole room full of media reporters. And they have so many questions for him, especially this one. So many questions. He comes out and says, you have half an hour. Whatever question you want to ask, and whoever doesn't get a chance, you have to wait till tomorrow. And then what happens? After that, he goes away, and you have to wait till next day. So I'm thinking, I said, I think I should have a press conference with my mind. You get half an hour, speak, talk all you want. All the chatterbox. Your mind is a real chatterbox. He said, say everything, think everything, I'm allowing you. After 30 minutes, not allowed. Not until I say so. It's not easy, it's easy said than done. But if you practice, it will work. And what do you do then? In the beginning, till you train your mind, just do 4 rounds nicely, because after 4 rounds, I can let my mind speak again, right? And I can run all over the place, all over the universe. My mind, your mind, Srila Prabhupada says, your mind travels with the speed of light, sometimes faster than the speed of light. So to control that, give it a time, an ultimatum, that this is the time you have. But then what you have to do, you have to be very firm with yourself. Put your cell phone away outside the room. Because if it's there, every time you get notification, I'll just take 10 seconds and I'll just put it away. The 10 seconds takes you 10 hours of your time. It gets wasted. You go all over the place. Multiplies your thinking. So we said that's what we need to do. How much time I have?
8:45.
I have 5 minutes? Radha, please, Radha, I have 10 minutes?
Yes.
But I'll say a nice story then. Jayadev Goswami happened in Jagannath Puri. He was a pure devotee. I'd explain to you why. He was certified, or what we call empowered by Krishna, to give an explanation and commentary on Gita Govind. Gita Govind, not ordinary people can even understand or figure out unless you're the right person to explain it to you. Part of that Gita Govind is called Ashtapadi. Okay? So what happens, the use of Ashtapadi is, the practice in Jagannath Puri is that Devadasis, after the darshan is closed at night, after the deities, for us, put to rest and the darshan is closed to the public, the pujaris close all the doors. And then the Devadasis come out and they dance in front of the deities for their pleasure. So what do they dance on? Not any mundane dancing, of course not. They do dance based on the Ashtapadi for the pleasure of the Lord. And the origin of Odissi dance, Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak, it all comes from Ashtapadi, all comes from the tradition of the Devadasis doing dance in front of Lord Jagannath. Because what they do, I know somebody who had taken this Bharatnatyam course. They have Tillana, they have Laripu, they have temple dance. These are all South Indian terms, so don't ask me what it means. So they have all these mudras are basically to glorify the Lord. And that if you see the dressing, they are dressed very decently, very nicely, fully covered, and they have nice jewelry, but only for the pleasure of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya saw this, and he was enchanted by that. Not enchanted by the Devdasis or their dancing, but the Ashtapadi, the glorification of Lord Jagannath. Now, Jayadev Goswami, one day he sat down and he's continuing to do his commentary on Ashtapadi. And a verse came and it says, Krishna says to Radharani that Radharani was little, she became Manini, so her pride was hurt, she was upset with Krishna, and she was what is called in Hindi, rude kahi thi na, Radha, Krishna said. So she said, I don't want to speak with you. And Krishna is trying to please her and he says, please, I beg you at your lotus feet to be nice and now don't be mad at me anymore. And Jayadev Goswami read that and says, this cannot be possible. He was serving Lord Krishna in Dasibhav. He says, he is my Lord. He is the master of everything, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can he be saying this to Radharani? That is not right. So he got frustrated and he told his wife Padmavati, he says, take this scroll, take this pen, I'm going to take a bath in the Ganges and I'm not going to finish this. I'm not in a mood to do this. I just cannot understand this. I cannot write this. She said, whatever, my lord, my husband, dear husband, whatever you please. So he takes his gamcha and goes to Ganges to take bath. Few minutes later, he comes back wearing a gamcha. So his wife said, what's wrong with him? First he's upset. Now he's wearing a gamcha and coming into the house back, walking on the street like that. She said, what happened? He said, I remember now. I figured out what to write. I'm not upset. So you're not upset anymore? He said, no, I'm not upset anymore. So he said, give me my scroll back and give me my pen back. So he finished the verse. She said, well, at least he's happy. And then he says, I'll be back. And then he left. I'll be back after my bath and talk to you later. Make prasadam, I'll be back. So okay. So a few minutes later, Jayadev Goswami comes back and Padmavati told him, he said, my lord, you finished that. But what? Oh, she read it. First of all, she read that. He said, let's see what he wrote, because he was so having difficult time with finishing this. She read that, and he finished that, and he said, me, I, fall at your feet. Tvam, your lotus feet. Telling Radharani. She said, this is big transformation in his thinking now. So she fainted when she read the rest of it. She said, wow, it's amazing. He comes back and he saw her fainted. He said, Padmavati, wake up, what happened to you? He said, you came back and you finished this and I read it and I fainted. He said, I finished what? I didn't come back. I'm just coming back from my... So then she fainted again. She said, that means Lord Krishna himself came to finish this. It wasn't you. Because then she read and says, you're right. If Jayadev Goswami wrote that, he would say, Tvam. He's writing, Mama, I beg pardon to you. So he said, that's Krishna himself writing that. And then he started dancing. He says, wow, I can understand Krishna. And he figured out, he said, no, it was meant to be like that. I got a little puffed up. I got the empowerment from Krishna, and I got a little derailed. Because I worship in Dasya Bhav, but Krishna has every bhav. There's Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. In that order. So Srila Prabhupada says you cannot go Vatsalya first, Sakhya later, Dasya after that, and Madhurya after that. It has to start with Dasya Bhav, and you slowly graduate from that. So that was the Jayadev Goswami story. Now there's another thing, I have a little question. Why do you think Krishna steals butter from the gopis? Anyone?
Giving service.
To give them pleasure, right? What else? But they're agitated. What they don't like is, why can't he, we want to feed him and he won't take it from us. We want to put him on our lap. We want to feed him, but he steals it. So that's their complaint to Yashoda. Of course, they're enjoying the whole thing. That's their complaint to Yashoda. Say, why can't he take it from us, but then steal and make a mess? And not only he steals it, but he makes a mess. And our kids are learning bad things. He's stealing. So Yashoda said, I don't know. I have 900, Nanda Baba had 900,000 cows. She said, I have so much butter, I don't know what to do with it. Why would Krishna come to your house to steal to begin with? So now, the main reason Krishna once told the gopis, he was mad. He says, she locked it up, she found better and better places to hide it. He says, you are locking this up. You do this, the more you try it, the more mess I'm going to make. But he says, why don't you eat from us? He said, I tell you why. Because when it's time to milk the cows, you are taking all the calf, untie them, and see the calf is supposed to nurse first. Milk, drink as much milk he can take, then you tie him up and then you milk the cow. That is the right way of doing. He said you are tying them up before they are even finished. So he said, well, what do we do? There is not enough milk if they finish drinking, and there not enough butter and not enough yogurt for cunts. He said, that's why I steal from you. This butter is not for cunts. This butter is for the Vrajvasis, the cowherd boys, your children, the cows, the baby cows, and everybody else. Why are you taking all the butter and yogurt and milk and give it to cunts? Who is a demon and he's harassing everybody. No matter how much you give him, he's always doing these things. So he said, that's why I do that. And not only that, while they are making yogurt and butter and milk, who are they thinking about? We have to send this to Kans. We have to send this for Kans. Kans was very smart. He was a demon. They said every time Nanda Maharaj went, Nanda Maharaj also had to give a tax. But then he could afford it. There's so much butter in his house. He said every time he went to Mathura to give the tax, Kans will send the demons because he knows Nanda Maharaj is not there. Nanda Maharaj was so pious. He said he is not there to protect the villagers and to protect Krishna and Balram. So this is the time to send the demons. He says, when you think about the demons, demonic people, that's what it does. It takes you away from Krishna. Ravan was the son of Pulasya Muni. Pulasya Muni, great Maharshi, right? His son. He said Ravan had a lot of knowledge. Now, Ravan had so much siddhi and so much power, he could stop the sun whenever he wanted. He said because he had demoniac desires, he was a Brahmin too. A worshipper of Lord Shiva, he could get all sorts of power. But he had the demoniac desire to take Sita, Mother Sita, to his kingdom and enjoy her. So when you have a desire to enjoy your senses and use Krishna's material world and material things, that's when the Maya takes you for a ride. You think you are doing well situated, she's trying to outsmart you. When you go away from Krishna, that's what happens. Maya will put you under illusion. And this is why it's avidya. Srila Prabhupada says, if you're serving Krishna, use that in Krishna's service.